In this tutorial, we'll learn how to use the Group Data Unpackager plugin for the Butter text analysis software. What this plugin will do is take data that is already packed up in a Group Data object and then unpack each text into a separate string. This is helpful when you're working through a pipeline and you're chopping up transcript data using Conversation Splitter, or if you're doing other types of text analyses that work with the Group Data object. Now, a group data object is kind of like a box where each person is stored as a separate member of a whole group. Now, normally what this is used for is comparing different people who are all part of the same group to each other. So we might compare the text of this person to this person, this person to this person, and this person to this person. Now, a lot of the plugins in Butter that deal with group data automatically take the texts, for example transcript data, chop them up and package them up as a group data object. What the Group Data Unpackager will do is take each of these people's texts and pull them out into separate strings that are not connected to each other, or not necessarily identified as all being part of the same group. Then you can work with each string individually the way that you would for a normal text analysis procedure. Now for this example, I'm going to be working with some transcript data from the Cornell movie corpus. And these transcripts look like a normal transcript. We have different people's names and then the text for each turn that they took during the dialogue of the movies. So what we're going to do is read in these texts. And then we're going to separate them up using the Conversation Splitter plugin. You don't need to know anything about this plugin in particular right now, and there will be a separate tutorial for this plugin. Now what I've already done ahead of time is gone in and created a list of all of the different speakers. So we'll just use this data now to go through each of the transcripts and separate the text for each speaker on a per transcript basis. Now normally what you would do with the separated transcript files, which are packaged up as a group data object, is go through and do something like language style matching calculations or latent semantic similarity calculations. However, what if we want just to take the texts for each person and then dump them back out as texts or text files in a CSV format, something like that? Since we have the text separated on a per person basis, we can then take that group data and unpack it so that each person's text is now just a separate entity that's not all part of the group data object. And then we can go ahead and save these texts back out into another format, or we could do other types of text analysis procedures. For example, we could content code each person's data separately now. For this example, we'll just save these texts back out to text files. And I'll make a new folder here named text out, and we'll just save the texts into there. So I'll go ahead and start this, and it should move pretty quickly. And you can see that we're getting a separate text for each of the people in those transcript files. So for example, if we go back to this transcript we looked at earlier, M1, we can see we have speakers like Columbus and Sanchez. If we go to this outputted file now, we can see that we have all of the text from Columbus throughout the entire transcript, and it's all aggregated and separate from each of the other people's texts. So that's it. That's how we use the Group Data Unpackager plugin for Butter.